Hello, Drafting 1391. My name is Michael Young. I will be your instructor for this summer 2025 course. All right, let's get started. Again, my name is Michael L. Young. I'm the director of the Career and Technical Education programs here at the Cypress Center. Retired engineer. And so let's get started. This is a hybrid face-to-face course. This is my email address and my office phone number. Special topics in drafting and design technology. Now the notes for this is going to be used as a capstone for both the architectural and mechanical design track for you architectural students. And at the date of making this video, there are no architectural students in this particular class. The one that was in the spring, I had half and half. But what we will do is we will waive Drafting 1392, which currently in the catalog is nothing but 3D printing, for 1391. Supposedly that's going to get fixed in the future. All right. The course number and section, it's 5097Y001, 5098Y002. Y001 is the hybrid section, the lecture, and the actual 2 days a week you will be in the computer lab with me on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. That is not negotiable. Classroom is CY 122. It has all the software you're going to need. This 6-week course is only 36 days. It's 5 weeks and 1 day. So we do not have time to mess around. All right, it's 3 credit hours. So let's get down. All right, prerequisites: department approval, and other than the department approval is none. However, the student is expected to be proficient in the following, as you will not be taught these skills and or the SLOs for these courses. You were supposed to have had these. Now I've checked your transcripts. You all have. So there'll be no excuses. What am I going to do in this course? I am not going to teach you basic drafting, basic AutoCAD, any of this other stuff. You supposedly are supposed to have had that if you're mechanical. If you're architectural, then you'll be in your last semester for your architectural program. So you should have mastered the skills in those. What I am going to do is I will be your employer, your engineer, or your architect. You will work for me, and you will do a project. Now again, we only have 5 weeks in 1 day. So I would not be picking a very complicated project. We will discuss this more the first night of class. Like I said, right now we just got mechanical. I have a simple mechanical project that you can design or draw up and get me a full set of drawings, and we'll talk about that later. All right, there's no textbook required. Your required technology, you're supposed to be proficient in all the CAD courses and computers and that sort of thing. All right. Catalog description, special topics in drafting and design technology, recently identified current events, skills, knowledge, and or attitudes and behaviors pertinent to the technology or occupation and relevant to the professional development of the student. This course was designed to be repeated multiple times to improve student proficiency. The specific student learning outcomes in this course is recognize the user interface basics by displaying model elements, general utilities, and basic equipment modeling. Demonstrate appropriate uses of basic skills required to build equipment and structural models, and develop detailed drawings using three-dimensional models. Again, this course is only 5 weeks and 1 day. It's a project-based hybrid course. Hybrid means you're expected to be able to work on your project out of the classroom. It's critical that you read what's posted in this syllabus. Okay? If you can't do this, you need to drop this class. Attendance. The lab meeting days are Tuesday and Thursday, and they are mandatory. Students are allowed 1 excused absence during the semester. Students are subject to being dropped from the course after 1 unexcused absence. An unexcused absence is one in which the instructor and the student. An excused absence is the one in which the student and the instructor have prearranged the absence and makeup work is completed. Points are going to be deducted from daily attendance according to your absences. A tardy is 1/3 of an unexcused absence. Come to class, do your work, and or leave early, and you will have points. If you come to class and do not work and or leave early, you're going to have points deducted. You're to use your Lone Star email only to communicate with me and to turn in any submittals required. Do not use the email in D2L or your personal email. Electronic devices. The mandatory lab has the electronic equipment needed for the course. If I'm talking and lecturing, I expect cell phones to be turned off. After that, you can use your phone. Disregard what this says. No text messaging or cell phones allowed during the class except for course purposes. You need to be doing your work in class. Assignments. Required assignments, exams, and videos are delineated in the syllabus. Additional assignments I might give you if I deem it's necessary. I'll be posting videos and instructional guidelines for problem solving. And we'll go through a video on D2L. Actually, we'll just walk through D2L face to face when we meet the first night of class. Since this is a very short course, 5 weeks and 1 day, I'd be checking your email periodically. Failure to submit any 2 assignments, including but not limited to papers, exams, project deadlines, will result in you being dropped from the course. If you know before the due date you're going to miss it, you need to get with me, and we'll see what we can do to build a recovery plan. If you're an architect, these are the drawings I expect for your project. Site plan, floor plan, foundation plan and details, framing plan, electrical plan, complete elevations, and written documentation of design concepts, materials, and functionality. Mechanical pathway. All drawings are to be fully dimensioned and the portfolio will be in a PDF. Complete plans from all sides of all components. Ortho 3D, assembly drawings. Mechanical project must have at least 4 separate parts. Written documentation of design concepts, materials, and functionality. Now, I have a whole slew of mechanical projects that you can you can design, and one of them, some of them are pretty complex. Like I said, we only got 5 weeks, so we'll talk more about that the first night. Instructional videos, they're all on YouTube. Any video I put up is on YouTube, and the link with the links in the video file, and their videos are all captioned, so if you need that. I have the right to change the syllabus if I think it's necessary. Your responsibility is, if I do change something in the syllabus, is to adapt to the change. What's it take to be successful? You need to be a moral and ethical machinist, employee, drafter, designer, whatever. You need to have the hard skills and soft skills. You'll be hired on your aptitude, your performance skills, and you'll get fired because of your attitude, your lack of integrity, ethics, and morals. I'm going to tell you, your instructor, me, and director and employer is going to tell you to embrace the following distinctions: motivation, the ability to work with others, the ability to focus on tasks, self-regulation, self-esteem, and the ability to defer gratification. This is also referred to as emotional capital. We all understand that these values demand that we hold this stuff with respect, humility, and in a professional manner. I'm also going to tell you you need desire. We're in Texas, that's Ghana, that's the fire in the belly. So, all right, let's get started. How are you going to be graded? Attendance. There are 11 meeting dates. 25 points apiece, that's 275. And let's see, the midterm project, that's your project at your midpoint, is worth 200 points. And the course final project, which is due no later than that date, is worth 200 points. That's a total of 675 points. That's 100%. So you get 10% extra. You get 10 points extra if you do the course evaluation. You'll be notified by iStar that the course evaluation is ready. We read those after the end of each semester, and sometimes we change stuff in the courses based on what the students say, what their recommendations are to make it better. It will not affect your grade. There is no final examination for this course. Your final project is due here on the 8th. Where he talked about evaluation of instruction, intended instructional outline. Course starts this week, 6/2. We meet on Tuesday, Thursday. None of this means anything to y'all. It means something to me. Thursday is the Juneteenth holiday, so we will be missing a class for that. Independence Day is Thursday and Friday, so we'll be missing a class there. But this is, you have the hybrid section, so just because we're losing 2 class periods doesn't give you an excuse not to get your project done. Again, that's the midpoint review, and this is the final project is due date. Course calendar, pretty self-evident. Start off preparing for everything on week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I would suggest you pick a fairly easy project to draw up. I have those in D2L. We will go through that, and if you get your project done early, and I get all the drawings and the drawing files, then you'll be done with the course. So theoretically, if you work fast and hard, you might be able to finish in week 4. Okay. The rest of this is boilerplate. You can read this on your own. Course communication is through your Lone Star email address, not through D2L. Grades will be in D2L. We'll go through that in the D2L video. Course withdrawal process is 6-drop rule. If you need to drop this course, let me know and I'll drop it for you. Send me an email. You're only allowed to drop 6 courses in the state of Texas. I don't know how they police that. Here's how you academically appeal stuff. Follow the directions. Academic integrity. If I catch you cheating or using AI, you claim it's your work or you're stealing work or whatever, well, you run the risk of getting kicked out of school, period, bottom line. You can read about all that here. I've never had an issue with it. I had a student use AI for one of my classes, and she screwed up really bad, so I had her go back and redo the 2 exams like a normal person, not use the robot. She learned, and she ended up making an A in the class. I gave her a chance to redeem herself. It's really not a problem, because if I give you a project, I already know what it is. You just got to draw it up. All right, student behavior expectations. Since we do have a face-to-face component, I expect you to behave and treat me with respect, and I'll treat you with respect. You want to get froggy with me, then I'll give it back to you in spades. Never had a problem. Never had a problem. Always treat my students with respect. And I expect the same from them. All right, campus safety and security. This has to do with being safe on campus, concealed carry, etc., etc. COVID-19 still in there. Guidelines for students on campus premises. This is because it's in here for me. I had a student in a machine shop math class many years ago. We were doing that one face to face. So he's going to have to drop out because his wife, who was an ER nurse, got her schedule changed. No one could keep the kid. I have a 3-year-old daughter. I said, bring her to class. It's just a lecture class. It's not like we're in the machine shop lab or the welding lab. She was going to get sucked up in a machine or something. So she sat in class. I made little math projects for her, and she thought she was a queen. And she was actually better behaved. Somebody got their knickers in a knot over it. So they put that in there in the next semester. FERPA is the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. No one has the right to know your business. If you want mommy and daddy, your boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, to know your business, they got to have a FERPA form signed by you. Now, the other thing on this law is I don't have to talk to them. Just because they got a FERPA form, I don't have to talk to them. And I usually won't. Student absence on religious holidays. I don't think there's any religious holidays that we haven't caught. If there is, let me know. You got 12 days from the first. You have within the first 12 days of the semester to let me know, and we'll work something out. Equal opportunity statement. This is the ism paragraph. You know what isms are: sexism, racism, genderism, positionalism, I hate youism. An ism is an excuse for one human being to hate on another one for no good reason. No good reason. I won't put up with it. Neither will Lone Star College. Nothing makes me want to paint my face and go to war than a human being preying on another one, just so they can fill a hole inside of them. You might say I got ism about isms. We're committed to your success. We want you to succeed. Do your work. Communicate with me. I'll be guiding you through the design process. And it's really pretty much a no-brainer class. Because you supposedly have all the skill sets how to drive that software. All right. Academic Success Center, we have free tutoring. You can read all this on your own. I'm not going to go through this. We got counseling services to cover just about everything on the planet. We got full service library, got full office technology, virtual learning. Again, there's a syllabus disclaimer. So that's it for this. Since this does have 2 face-to-face meetings every week, we got any questions about this, we'll cover it in class real quick. Again, it is mandatory that you show up on Tuesday and Thursday. All right. That's all for now. How long was this one? 19 minutes. Okay, good. All right. So